Hello, students. Welcome to my Indian Corporate Law lecture series. I hope you remember our previous class, Steps in Promotion Stage, that is, idea generation, validation of idea, resource collection, and final introduction of finance to the project. If it's a pre incorporation contract, it is prior to incorporation, and the last part is regarding functions, remuneration, and legal status of promoter. Promoter is the person who dreams of a new business and who starts doing activities of company formation. So in today's class, we'll continue with the promoters. So here, duties and obligations of promoter. It can be classified in four categories. The first duty is all such acts as trustees would do. Disclosure of relevant facts, not to make a secret profit, and disclose his interest in property. Let us see one by one. The first one, all such acts as trustees would do. So here we should understand the word trustee. So here trustee's activity includes acts beneficial to the company. He should act in such a way which is going to benefit the company. So do the things with great trust because he is going to start a company and there is great responsibilities on the promoter and he should act in such a way that uh, his activities will benefit the company. And the second one, disclosure of relevant facts. So here we should understand the terms relevant facts. So here it indicates regarding the promotion of company. So all the relevant material which is in connection with the promotion of company, so he has to disclose and he has to disclose these informations to the directors of company after the registration of the company. He should disclose or he should provide the information all the relevant facts regarding the promotion of company. For example, all the pre-incorporation contracts ನಮ್ಮ ಕಂಪನಿ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ಗೂ ಮೊದಲು ಅವರು ತಗೊಂಡಿರುವಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಸೊ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಸೊ ಈಚ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಪ್ರಮೋಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಂಪನಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ by the promoters to the directors of company. And the next one, not to make secret profit. So here the term secret profit, so which indicates the profits out of the company formation, but he is going to use this profit secretly or personally. Company formation ಪ್ರಮೋಷನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿರುವಂಥ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ಸ್ ಬಟ್ ಈ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪ್ರಮೋಟರ್ ಅವರ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಸೀಕ್ರೆಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮಿನರಿ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮಿನರಿ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ he got some profit and if he is having the intention to use his personal purpose, then we are going to call it as secret profit. So here promoter is not allowed to make such secret profit. He has to hand over such profits to company after its incorporation. And the last one, disclose his interest in the property. So assume that if promoter sells any of his assets to company, so if he wishes to sell any of his own assets to company after its incorporation, he has to disclose his interest in asset so directors can take independent decision. For example, promoter ಅವರದ್ದೇ ಒಂದು ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಈ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕಂಪನಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್ ಇನ್ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್ ಅಥವಾ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆದ ನಂತರದಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಅವರೇ ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿಯನ್ನು ಕಂಪನಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಆದರೆ at this point of time he has to disclose his interest. That means his interest means complete building ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರ ಓನರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಎಷ್ಟುಂಟು. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ 70% ಓನರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ಸ್ ಟು ಪ್ರೊಪ್ರೈಟರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರಿಮೈನಿಂಗ್ 30% ಓನರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ಸ್ ಟು ಹಿಸ್ ಬ್ರದರ್. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಸಚ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್, ಸೊ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಓನರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪೋರ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಮೋಟರ್ದಿದೆ ಅಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ಸೈಡರ್ನ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. That he has to provide the information regarding his interest on property which is sold to the company after its incorporation. ಸೊ ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಅವರ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್, ಅವರ ಓನರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಎಫ್ 30% belongs to promoter and 70% belongs to others, in that situation, so while making payment, director has to be very careful. So all these things are the duties and obligations of promoter. You should remember, you should act as a trustee, you should disclosure all relevant facts to the director, he should not make any secret profits, and he should disclose his interest in the property if any sold to company after its incorporation. And the next one is the rights of promoter. So here majorly we are going to represent two rights. The first one, right to claim his remuneration for his efforts. We have seen the various functions of promoter. So for all these functions, he should be remunerated. ಅವರು ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪನಿಯ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. So he is going to generate the idea, he is going to investigate the idea whether it is viable or not. He used to collect all the required resources for the company. He is going to decide the name of the company. He is going to prepare all the required documents, and he is going to do all the required activities for the promotion of the company. So for all these activities or for all these functions of a promoter, he should be get remunerated. So for that reason, he has the right to claim his remuneration for all his efforts or functions of promoting a company. And the second right is to get reimbursement in respect of his expenses. So we have seen the pre-incorporation expenses cycle. So here, pre-incorporation contract between third party and promoter. For example, promoter and landowner. So here, promoter entered into contract with a third party landlord or landowner for some land purchase for the company. ನಮ್ಮ ಕಂಪನಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಒಂದು ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಓನರ್ಸ್ ನ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಗೆ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ದ ಇನ್ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಂಪನಿ. ಸೊ the contract entered in between the promoter and the third person landlord. And the second step is work by the third party. So here, land acquisition. Promoter is going to acquire the land and this landlord is going to hand over the lands to the promoter. And payment to third party by promoter. After acquiring the land, promoter has to pay landlord out of his own pocket. Promoter has to make payment to landlord out of his own pocket and not from the company, because company is not having any existence at this point of time. So for that reason, promoter has to make payment out of his own pocket to third party. And next, the company will get incorporated. The company will be registered. So company registration will take place, but at this point of time, so there is no contact between the landlord and the company, because the contract between the promoter and the landlord is over here. So after incorporation, payment to the promoters by the company. So for the payment made to the landlord, which should be reimbursed. So that means repayment Already the promoter has paid to the landlord, so this amount should be reimbursed by the company to the promoter. So this is how the sequence of steps will be taken place. So here, for this reason, the promoter is having the right to get reimbursement for the expenses incurred before incorporation. So before incorporation, he paid uh, to all the pre-incorporation contracts, and this amount he, he he will get after incorporation. So this is called reimbursement to the promoter. So he is having two rights. The first one, right for remuneration for his efforts or functions, and the second one, right to get reimbursement. And the last one, liabilities of promoter. So here there are different liabilities specified. The first one, personally liable in respect of pre-incorporation or preliminary contract. So we know that the preliminary contracts are entered in between the promoter and third party. So promoter entered the contract with the third party on behalf of the promoter. We have seen an example. Promoter entered a contract with the landlord for acquiring land to the company. ಕಂಪನಿಗೆಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಪ್ರಮೋಟರ್. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಕಂಪನಿಯ ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರುವಾಗ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆದಂತ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅದು. ಸೊ ಕಂಪನಿಯ ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಮೋಟರ್ ಮತ್ತು ಥರ್ಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಯ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ಆಲ್ ಸಚ್ ಪ್ರೀ ಇನ್ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ದ ಪ್ರಮೋಟರ್ ಇಸ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಲ್ and not the company. Company is not responsible for any pre-incorporation contracts. Personally liable in respect of pre-incorporation or preliminary contracts. And the second one, to hand over the secret profit. So secret profit out of pre-incorporation contract that should be handed over to the directors of company to compensate the subscribers. So if in any case if there is a mistakes in the prospectus and general public purchase the shares of company by believing such false statements in the prospectus, in that situation it is the liability of the promoter to compensate all the subscribers for such false statements in the prospectus. For example, ಕಂಪನಿ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂಥ ಪ್ರಾಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಸ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ಜನರಲ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಶೇರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಂಥ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಮೋಟರ್ ಇಸ್ ಲಯಬಲ್ ಟು ಕಾಂಪನ್ಸೇಟ್ ಸಚ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬರ್ಸ್. ಆ ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂಥ ಶೇರ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕಾಂಪನ್ಸೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಕ್ರಿಮಿನಲ್ ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಅಂಡರ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 30. In this here, if any frauds, in such situation he will be criminally liable. And breach of trust and liability for frauds under section 300 and 370. He will be liable for breach of trust. So if any activity which is not beneficial to the company, in such situation, so he will be held liable under breach of trust. And liability for frauds under section 300 and 317. If any case, if he did mistakes which is intentional one, intentional to cheat someone or to deceive someone, in that situation, so it is the liability of promoter. So hope you understood. Liabilities of promoter is liable in respect of pre-incorporation contract. He has to hand over the secret profits to the directors of company. He has to compensate the subscribers for misstatements in prospectus. He will be criminally held liable for any such frauds and for breach of trust for any activity which is not beneficial to the company in such case, and of course liability for frauds if any. So this is how the today's class. So in today's class we learned regarding promotion stage. So remember, uh, company formation having three steps: promotion stage, incorporation stage, and commencement stage. In that, today we learned the promotion stage. In the today and the previous class, we learned regarding promotion stage and the promoter. And here we have learned promoters, functions, and rights, duties, and liabilities. So all these things are regarding the promoter. So hope you understood. If you have any doubts, you can ask. And thank you for watching. Happy learning.